Hi, my name is Kathy Hill. Um, I'm Riley's mom, and we're going to do a video and answer questions about 9/11.
Okay. How well do you remember 9/11?
I remember 9/11 pretty well. It was in 2001, so Riley was 2 years old, I guess, and I was in the living room on the couch, and I was actually um, feeding Riley's sister. She was born in 2000, so I was feeding her a bottle when I was watching the Today Show and the news came on about 9/11.
Okay. Do you remember where you were when 9/11 happened?
Yes, I was at home in our living room um, watching TV, watching the Today Show. It was just a normal day, like any other day. The morning had started out great and it was just a normal day.
Okay. What was your reaction when the first tower was hit versus the second one being hit?
The first tower, when it was hit, um, it took me a little bit to realize what was going on because the no one really knew at that time if it was a terrorist attack or if the plane had just malfunctioned or something had happened. So um, we didn't really know about the first plane what had went on, and then when the second plane by the time the second plane hit the second twin tower, I think pretty much everyone had realized that it was a terror attack on the United States.
Okay. How did this make you feel about the security of America?
um, at that time it made me really nervous and scared. I had two young kids, and I didn't really know what was going on, and I was just kind of scared thinking that a war was going to break out, and it was something we've never had something like that, that happened in America. It's usually you hear about fighting and terror attacks overseas, nothing that has really hit that close to home. So it was pretty frightening.
Okay. Do you think America is more or less prepared for another disaster like this?
I'd like to think that we're more prepared, but you know, um, things still to this day keep happening as far as terror attacks and the way ISIS is and the way our militaries have, had to fight since then. So I hope that we're more prepared, but at times I'm unsure.
Okay. What do you think would have happened if Flight 93 would have reached the White House or Capitol?
I think that if Flight 93 would have reached the White House, we probably would have had, you know, the president could possibly been killed, and um, there probably would have been major war right here in the United States in our own country that we've never seen before. Um, I just think it would have been really bad.
Okay. What were you doing when 9/11 happened?
I was sitting on the couch in the living room watching the news on the Today Show, feeding my daughter, and it was just a normal day, like I'd said before.
All right. Do you think this day will be remembered forever?
Yes, I definitely think this day will be remembered forever because it's something that actually happened on American soil here in the United States, and nothing like that has ever happened before. It totally caught us off guard and showed us how um, we like to think that we're the toughest country in the world and we have the best military forces and things of that nature. But it really took us by surprise and showed us that anything could happen. And we obviously weren't as prepared for something like this as we would like to think as a nation and America.
All right. Did you know anybody in New York on that day?
No, I did not know anyone in New York.
Okay. Do you think it was okay for the media to take people jumping out of the buildings?
I don't recall the media taping people jumping out of the buildings. I do recall um, people with cell phones, and um, I guess the media was just covering the story, and it did show people trying to save their lives and do whatever they could to get out of the twin towers. And just so happened, unfortunately, they were probably scared and they didn't know what else to do, and yes, they jumped out of the windows. I don't think the media probably intentionally meant to video that. It just happened to be on the video. But do I feel like they should have showed the world those videos? In a way I do, in a way I don't. It was hard for families and for us as a nation, and even though we didn't know them, to see, people dying basically, like that. But also, it showed us, and it really embedded in our thoughts and memories that what 9/11 was all about, and that we'll never forget that, and we need to do everything we can as a nation and a country to not ever have that happen to us again. So I'm double sided. I'm not really sure if I think the media should have shown that or not.
Okay. How did 9/11 change your life?
9/11 changed my life, in a sense that you just never know, I guess, when something like this could happen, and we're not as prepared as I would have liked to have. I would like to have think, that we are. It makes us more cautious when we're in airports and um, just everywhere. That it just makes you really um, think about things, and how we shouldn't take one day for granted.
All right. How do you feel about airport security now that it has changed so much? Do you think it was worth it?
I'd like to think that our airport security is better, but we still hear on the news now that, people get through with guns and knives and all kinds of things, still to this day when they board planes. So I think airport security could still be a little tighter. I don't know that I agree with all the patting down of kids and, some people that are at airport security. I do feel like takes it a little bit too far, but then in the same token, I guess we can't ever be too careful.
Okay. What was your reaction to seeing this unfold and hearing about it?
I was sad. I was sad. It made me worry about my kids' future. Um, it made me worry about how the world was going to change as they grew up and what it was going to be like when they were my age. Um, I guess it's just really, really made me be more aware of what could happen.
Okay. And do you know what the NSA is?
National security, or I'm not really sure what the NSA is.
Okay.
National Security Association.